Welcome to the Digital Transformations Project. In this short video, I'd like to show you a few different ways of uploading content to your subject site in LearnJCU Ultra. So let's log in and get started. So today, I'll be using my sandpit to demonstrate these activities. As you can see here, I have a basic structure of a subject site with a folder called Getting Started with some introductory materials for my students, a folder where I'm going to build my assessment, some other resources, and a discussion board. But I haven't yet uploaded my actual teaching materials. So the first method I'd like to show you is how to upload content individually, so one file at a time. So the first thing we do is create a folder by clicking on the plus, wherever I want that folder to be. So I want it after Getting Started, but above Assessment. Click on the plus, go to Create, and in the Create panel, we choose Folder. So I'd like to call this folder Week 1, Turtle Anatomy. For the time being, I'll keep it hidden from students and add a brief description for my students. Now, when I'm working in a folder, I like to open it and you can go straight to upload. So if you've got a folder on your desktop or your computer to search for those files, you can go straight to them, click open, and they will upload. Now I had 3 files I wanted to upload. Just be aware that depending on where you click is where that file is going to live. So I've uploaded my PDF slides. Now I want to upload my PowerPoint. I'll choose it, create open. Now just be aware, if I wanted my Word document to go in between these two, this is where I'd click. But if I wanted it to be the third document down the line, I'd click down here. Very different from clicking in this other plus sign that will then create another folder or a document outside this folder. So just an example, I want to upload my Word document in between the other two. I go to open and you can see it right there. So there we go, we have our 3 documents there. I do find it much easier when I'm working in Ultra to open a folder when I'm working within that area and then close that folder and move on to another folder. It's a little bit less confusing. By clicking on the 3 dots here, you can always edit the name of that folder, change it around, make it visible to students, or change your description. And with these little arrows, you can drag that folder to another location or even put it into another folder. So, quick review. I go to plus, go to upload, and then choose my documents and bring them into Ultra. I'm happy with these 3. I'm going to close the folder. I'm going to show you another method. So if that folder was considered to be ready, I would make it visible to students. And you always have to make the documents visible to students as well. So we can do that, and those materials will be ready to go. Let's delete this folder, and I'll show you another method of uploading files to LearnJCU. So this time, we start in the same way. Let's create the folder where those documents are going to live. So I'll go with week 1 again, Turtle Anatomy, and it remembers the name of the previous folder I've created. I will put my description here and save that folder. So I do recommend you create a fresh folder when you're dragging and dropping, as opposed to reusing folders that you've created before. Now what we can do here is look for our documents in an area in the computer. And the drag and drop method works well if the way you organize your documents in your computer is similar to the structure of your subject. So exactly what I have here, I have my week 1 resources and I have my 3 documents, the PDF with the slides, the PowerPoint, and the notes arranged in that folder. Now, if I want to select more than one document, I click on the first one and hold the Shift key in the Windows computer, and then all I need to do is drag them to the folder I've created. Now, if I wanted them to live over inside other resources, I would hover over that folder, but I want them to go to week 1. So I drop them, I hold my mouse button and I drop them on top of the folder I want them to go into. So this is a nice and easy way to drag and drop several documents at the same time into a folder in your subject site. So I'm going to close that one, and there we go. They're all uploaded here, and you can still change the order of those documents or move them to other folders if you like. Now, once again, I'd have to make the folder visible to students and individually make those documents visible as well when this is ready to go. So that's the drag and drop method. Now, what I'm going to do is delete this folder. Okay, I'll start fresh, delete that folder, and once again, create a fresh one. You wouldn't have to do this necessarily, but because I'm demonstrating the creation of folders, I will do it again. Turtle anatomy. Here we go. Description. And I'll leave it hidden to students. Now, this third method I'm going to show you is a method where you embed your documents into a document that you are creating. I like to call it a web document because it reminds me of a web page. So let's open that folder. It's empty. And let's create. But this time, instead of creating a folder, we are creating a document. Now, let's call this Deep Dive into Turtle Anatomy, week 1. And what I'm going to do here is populate this space with my resources. I will go into more detail on the creation of these web documents in another video, but this is just another way of uploading your documents into the one space that your students can browse through. So just to make it a little bit nicer, I'm going to go into this plus sign where you seek local files. And the first thing I'm going to choose is a banner for my subject site. So I've pre-prepared that banner and just give it that extra touch. Now, ideally you want to select that this file be displayed inline if the browser allows, as opposed to selecting it to always be an attachment for download. I'm happy with the display name and I'm happy with the alternative text. I can just take the JPEG out of it and I'm going to save. There we go. I've got my subject banner right at the top. And let's go, welcome to week 1. I want this to be a title. And now here, I'm going to start embedding my documents. So, or I should say attaching them. So, turtles are very interesting creatures. Oops. Below, you will find your lecture materials. And here, I want to add the PDF slides of my lectures. Choose it and click open. I can give it a new name if I'd like to. And the PowerPoint as well. So again, I go to the plus sign, the drop-down menu, insert local files, and here's my PowerPoint. And save. So here are 2 of my documents that I'd like my students to have access to. Now I can always add a video or a link, so there's a few other features up here that allow you to build a very rich document. But for the purposes of demonstrating attaching documents in your subject site, I will just do one more. So your notes are below. But you could add another paragraph of text if you desired here, or a video, or an image, so on. So once again, I go to the plus sign, insert local files, and I want to pop my Word document with the notes for my students right there. I'll save. I'm happy with the name, and I'll just remove that space, and down here I say enjoy your lecture next week. And now I'm going to save this document, and you can see what the student is going to see is a view very similar to a web page, where if you kept going, they would keep scrolling and looking at this content. Then they can open or download. Alternatively, some documents they can only download depending on their browsers and systems. So that was uploading documents to LearnJCU Ultra. This is how you'd see them. You see your folder there, and you see your web document made visible to students. Let's have a look at it again. There we go. There's our deep dive into turtle anatomy. You'd have to make this visible to students as well. And there's part of our materials for week 1 with all their documents embedded or attached into that document. I hope that was useful. Thank you very much for watching.